recap of day 4.
Temple 12 to 17. I mean, I guess we were 3 hours past 12, but so 12 to 17.
Yeah, I mean, we started, like we said, at the Moja house, which was quite a ways past 12, and then we had a few options as far as routes went. You know, one of our fellow pilgrims talked about, you know, they took the mountainous route after 12 and then kind of did these switchbacks down the mountain in order to get to the place where we were staying, versus we went on the road and didn't have any elevation gain. They said that was going to be gnarly, especially with the rain. So
yeah,
we opted to take predominantly roads today, which
it's kind of a blessing after the arduous climb the day before. So I mean, it was kind of surreal walking through the mountains, and then we had we were next to a stream, almost more like a river, almost all day. There was rain, which was relatively light, heavy a couple of times, but the mountains had this mist on them and these clouds coming. It was really, really pretty. The interesting thing, so from where we left Moja House till we got to, was it Temple 13? It was almost 4 hours of walking before, 3.5, 4 hours of walking before we got to the first temple, and then they were in relatively quick succession. After that, we still did 18. I think we did 18 miles today, so it wasn't a nothing day. But you know, despite the rain, I was so happy without the elevation gain. It was great
for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, and unfortunately, the spacing of these temples is really not conducive to like spending a lot of time at them. Especially, what was it? It was 14 and 15. 10-minute walk from each other. Like we saw pilgrims that were at 14 with us, got in their cars and drove, and got there the same freaking time that we did.
Right.
Like just unreal how close it was. But again, because of that, they kind of just bled together and weren't super memorable. Which, you know, kind of makes me feel bad. But there's gonna be some that are less spectacular than others.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess a little pro tip, we're staying very close to actually Temple 16 tonight. So we went ahead and we came here, dropped our bags, kind of doubled back, but it was only a few minutes. Went over to
5 minutes that way, 5 minutes back.
Yeah, without our packs, we went to Temple 16, walked out to Temple 17 and back to here where we're at 16, because our day tomorrow will take us not towards Temple 17, but rather 18 is in yet a different direction. So, little pro tip on how to make 18 miles feel not so painful when you drop your backpack for the last 4 miles.
Yeah, well, and you know, we're saving ourselves basically an hour and 20 tomorrow. Because 17 is very much just up, out of the way, okay, and back onto the same. So we're just cutting that whole stretch out, which is good because, you know, tomorrow we're staying at Temple 19.
At the actual temple.
At the temple. We have to be there by 4:30 at the latest.
Right.
So we, you know, need to leave in a timely manner and, you know, like I said, saving that sort of hour and 40 is just going to give us a little bit of wiggle room.
Little honey pot gamble.
Green tea. Oh, melon soda. Melon cream soda.
Ooh. About our accommodations tonight. You pronounce it, I can't.
Little Koro. We're staying here, like I said, 5 minutes walk from Temple 16. We did a half board tonight, so we got dinner this evening. We chose to have it around 6, just because we've been going to bed really early, which actually has been nice. And then tomorrow we'll have breakfast at 6:30.
6:30, yeah. So this was on the more expensive end of our accommodations. So I think we're at 9,500 yen or 9,350. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was 9 and some change.
Right.
But the meal that we had,
Oh, jeez.
yeah, the amount of food alone was worth the additional
Yeah,
cost.
we had sashimi, we had
noodles.
I don't know, chicken cutlets. We had soups. We had two soups, right? A more traditional soup, and then the sort of the carrot soup.
Yeah.
Tons of rice, and then they even gave us a dessert, which was pretty awesome.
Right.
Not to mention, I mean, this is the first night we've gotten this outfit. I mean,
Right. In the past, we could rent the yukata, and that's fine. We just hadn't opted for it. This was the first one that they had given it to us.
Yeah.
And towels were included, which again is not always the case. He found that one out the hard way last night.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was over ambitious, and I went and took my shower and realized, oh shit, I don't have a towel, so I had to use my shirt to dry myself off. Thankfully, you were able to rent one.
Yeah, but it didn't help much. It was about this big. And I did my hair, and it was so sopping after that. So yeah, live and learn.
Yeah. But this is pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
And we have like a 2-room tatami room.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, there's a sliding, rice paper wall between this room that we're currently in and where we're gonna sleep. It's a large room. You can comfortably fit probably 6 people.
Well, I haven't tested it yet. That looks like a thick mattress.
Chonky boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Because while I've slept really good so far, the mattresses or futons have been rather thin, and I'm tossing and turning, trying to get comfortable. So, super excited about tonight. Day 5. Sort of 85 miles in, I think, approximately. As we mentioned last night, we stayed near Temple 16, but we had dropped our bags, did Temple 16, went and did Temple 17 since it was sort of an out and back. So we left from our accommodations. We hit Temple 18, and we're currently staying in Temple 19 tonight.
It's been a interesting sort of development. I mean, a lot of the other places were very nice, and I mean, I realistically think this is pretty much on par with the places that we've been staying, but it's just the added cool factor of being in the temple itself.
Yeah.
Other than, you can't leave after about 5 when the temple's closed, because then you can't get back in.
Yeah.
So no exploring the surrounding area, but other than that, I mean.
We did get to go to a service, which was really quite cool. So we had to be here by 4:30, which wasn't much of an issue. We were somewhere in the 16-mile range today. So we were here sort of 3:30, had to be here by 4:30. Then they ushered us into the main temple at about 4:40. Got to witness a really cool monk performing a service, chanting, sort of hitting the I don't know, big steel barrel making noise. It was really cool. And then they fed us. We're sort of sequestered here for the night, and the accommodations seem, like you said, on par with others.
Yeah.
So a little bit about the route today. I wouldn't say terribly redeeming qualities. Certainly areas for improvement. It was largely along relatively busy streets. The one thing I liked is plenty of coffee.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we pretty much started right near Tokushima City.
Right.
And it's Monday morning when we're getting started. I actually really enjoyed seeing all the kids going to school. I thought that was really cool, how they all get to school and their little uniforms that they had on and stuff. It was, I don't know, it's just very different from the West.
And of course we did talk about, as we sort of rounded the corner, where we do sort of touch on Tokushima, is just double checking that our gear was adequate. And was it yesterday we walked all day in the rain? Our gear held up really well. So far, no blisters. Certainly, lots of aches and pains. But we didn't feel compelled to go change our gear, and I think a lot of pilgrims take the opportunity as just before we leave this area and go more into the countryside to take stock, and so far so good. I don't know, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, another thing that folks will do, I've heard, is they'll go back to the tourism center in Tokushima and get more information for basically anything after 17. So they'll go right when they arrive, get information for 1 to 17, stop back by, get information for 17 to 23, and then you're sort of into the next region. So it's just a good spot to take a pulse check. What do I have for cash? Because it is very cash centric here. The accommodations, we've probably only had
two or three that we've booked the credit card.
Yeah, most have been in cash as soon as you arrive. And they're all kind of like, I wouldn't say fast and loose, but like just the reservations are kind of up in the air until you're actually there.
Yeah, they're like by email or very very casual. Although as pilgrims we want to respect the hosts and we don't want to make reservations and not show up or anything, but they seem pretty lackadaisical about it.
Mm-hmm. Although I mean they are, you can tell, like even today when we got to the temple they were like, oh, 2 white dudes, probably this name. And they called out to us, so it's like they definitely expect you there.
Yeah.
So speaking about some similarities, some differences of things that we're seeing here versus what we experience back home, anything sort of come to mind for you?
It's quite a few things, and it's part of the fun of traveling and seeing different cultures and how they behave and do stuff. So some of the easy ones are trash. I mean, I know we're talking about an island nation, but man, do they manage their trash pretty carefully. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, there are no trash cans really on the street, so you're expected, I think, to take your trash with you, and there isn't trash very much like blowing around or anything, so it's not like people are dropping their trash places. Some of the vending machines have trash receptacles, but really just for the cans or bottles that they dispense. They definitely seem to recycle the aluminum and the really thick plastic, and then I believe they burn the rest of it.
So for whatever reason, last time I was here, I was very interested by it as well. So I watched like a 15-minute documentary just on what they do with the trash. They have the pada or parastiku. That's the bottles that they recycle, the tin or aluminum that they recycle, and then everything else is incinerated. And they use that to generate energy for the country. Very interesting. They're trying to figure out ways to capture the CO2 that is emitted during that burn, and then somehow harness that and sell it back to different businesses that potentially could use it. So, I mean, it all seems like relatively sustainable, but very interesting. Even the cars and how they do that, like everything is by that for sure, but displacement, they're trying to make everything efficient.
Their cars are very efficient. It seems like they are. They don't oversize them, don't oversize the motors, which I think probably has to help with the emissions. Vending machines. Have we talked about vending machines? Because I feel like I love those things, man. Not only can you get all kinds of stuff, cigarettes, beer, but you can get what my favorite is, the coffee. And frankly, you can get a cold coffee or a hot coffee. Like, it's amazing. Even in the convenience stores, like if you go in there, they have the cold section and then they sell hot cans of coffee. These are brilliant. It's like, why don't we have these in the U.S.? I mean, and they're like, you know, whatever, 120 yen, 100 yen. I mean, they're like $1. Like,
Not even, yeah.
I mean, you know, Boss Coffee, if you want to reach out to me, I'll be your U.S. distributor. And I think we'll put Starbucks out of business, just saying. That stuff is amazing.
Yeah. No, and I mean, even this morning it was chilly, and that wind chill was brutal. So I actually took, you know, one of the hot coffees from the kombini and put it in my pocket, and I was just warming my hands on it. Also, you know, 95 yen for that. So pro tip for you guys doing this in the colder months, just chuck it in a pocket and it's just like a little hand warmer, and you got a drink for later.
Yeah, it is amazing. Other differences you've noticed that are of interest?
So I mean, those high trust society.
Yeah.
And what I mean when I say that is, like today we were walking by one of the convenience stores and I was like, oh, that car's on in a parking stall, nobody's in it. Like, they just feel comfortable leaving their cars running and like knowing that no one is going to steal it, which is
Pretty
insane.
It's insane and it's amazing, but I mean, we literally will disrobe, take off our packs and stuff, leave them out there in front of the store. Like, no worries, nobody's gonna take it. As I look around where we're sitting right now, we're in a room, very nice room, very nicely appointed. There's no locks on the doors, nothing, you know. And it's most of the time, even when the doors do have locks, we don't even bother with them because nobody's gonna bother you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I leave thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment just right outside the kombini.
Yeah.
Just
That's right. We have drones and
microphones, gimbals,
computers
and,
for work. Yeah.
Just thousands of dollars
Just
worth
with
of
the gear.
equipment that we've even just being here feel comfortable leaving out in front of stores,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah, love it. I wish other places could be like this. It is a refreshing change.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do enjoy this content, please leave us a like, leave us a comment, drop a subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. You take care now. Bye-bye.